Planning a trip to Lakshadweep, it can seem like a bit of a headache. You hear about permits, remote islands, all the logistics, and it feels kind of complicated. But don't worry. In this explainer, we are going to break down every single step to make your journey to India's coral paradise not just possible, but absolutely unforgettable. Let's get right into it. And honestly, what an adventure it is. I mean, this quote from someone who just went, it says everything, doesn't it? It just perfectly captures that surreal, almost unbelievable beauty of a place that can completely sweep you off your feet. This is the feeling we're aiming for, and this guide is going to show you exactly how to get there. So here's our game plan. We'll start with what makes this place so special. Then we'll crack the code on that all-important permit process. We'll cover how to get there, how to pick the right island for you, all the incredible things you can do, and we'll finish up with some essential tips you'll definitely need before you go. First up, what makes this place India's secret paradise? Well, it's a story that's told not just in the white sand beaches, but in its totally unique geography and the warm, welcoming culture of its people. The name Lakshadweep is just so poetic. It means 100,000 islands. Now, okay, the actual count is 36, but you totally get the feeling. It's this fascinating mix of atolls, which are these incredible ring-shaped coral reefs, plus other reefs and submerged banks that create one of the most picturesque seascapes on the planet. Now this is where you really start to understand Lakshadweep. The contrast is just staggering. The total land area is only 32 square kilometers. That's smaller than a lot of cities. But the sea zone it commands? Over 700,000 square kilometers. It just perfectly illustrates that life here isn't defined by the land, but by the vast shimmering lagoon and the deep blue sea. Everything revolves around the ocean. And the people you'll meet are just as wonderful as the landscape. I mean, travelers consistently say the locals are some of the kindest and most helpful people they've ever met. The culture is a beautiful blend, with food that will totally remind you of Kerala. Think delicious coconut curries and tons of fresh tuna. It's just a peaceful, really welcoming atmosphere. All right, let's tackle the one thing that worries most people, the permit. This is your most crucial step, but I promise it is much, much more straightforward than it sounds. So here's the deal. The process really just depends on where you're staying. For an uninhabited island like Bangaram, it's incredibly simple. You book the government resort, you upload your ID, and they handle everything. Done. For an inhabited island, like Agatti, there's just one extra step. You need a police clearance certificate, or a PCC, before your hotel can apply for you. So let's just break down that Agatti process. It's really just 4 simple steps. You apply for the PCC online, then you pop over to your local police station when they call you for a quick verification, you download the certificate, and then you just email it over to your hotel along with your ID and photo. They take it from there. See? Totally manageable. With the paperwork sorted, let's talk about the fun part, the travel. How do you actually get to this remote paradise? Your main gateway is by air, into the one and only airport on Agatti Island. Most flights leave from Kochi, though direct routes from Bangalore and Goa are now available, which is great. You can also take a passenger ship from Kochi, which is an adventure in itself. But, and this is a big one, book those flights at least 45 days in advance. They fill up fast. And pack light. The check-in baggage limit is only 15 kilos. Seriously. Okay, you've got your permit, your flight is booked. The next big question is, where do you stay? Let's find your perfect island match. This table breaks it down really nicely. If you're looking for convenience, a taste of local life, and maybe more budget-friendly options, Agatti is your best bet, since the airport is right there. For a secluded, romantic, or more luxurious escape, the uninhabited island of Bangaram is perfect. And for the best of both worlds, world-class diving and a glimpse into the capital's culture, Kavardi is an excellent choice, though it is a longer boat ride to get there. Now, you might have heard of some other famous islands. Right now, the beautiful Thinakara is best visited as a day trip from Bangaram. And Kadmat, another jewel, is currently close to tourists because it's being developed by the Taj Group. So definitely keep an eye out for that one in the future. So you've arrived in paradise. Now what do? Let's explore all the incredible activities that make a Lakshadweep trip truly unforgettable. I mean, the list of things to do is just phenomenal. Beyond the world-class scuba and snorkeling, think about the unique experiences. Imagine taking a boat to the dramatic Kolpeti Island, or walking out to a pristine sandbank that just appears from the sea at low tide. And at night, the magic continues. The stargazing is unbelievable, and you might even witness the ethereal blue glow of bioluminescence in the waves between October and December. And let's just talk about scuba diving for a second. Look at that number. Getting your PADI open water certification in Kavaratti costs around 22,000 rupees. That is incredible value, making Lakshadweep not just a beautiful place to dive, but one of the most affordable places in the world to get certified. And the quality you get for that value is just off the charts. This quote reinforces it perfectly. The underwater ecosystem here, the sheer density and variety of fish and corals, is truly world-class. It rivals and even surpasses many famous international diving spots. It's an experience you will never, ever forget. We're almost there. Let's wrap up with the final practical details you'll need to pack your bags and plan the perfect trip. Understanding your budget is key. As this chart shows, your flights and accommodation are going to be your biggest expenses, making up the bulk of your cost. Keep that in mind as you plan so you can allocate enough for activities and those essential inter-island boat transfers. It's a great way to think about building your own budget. When it comes to packing, let's start with the non-negotiables. First and foremost, put your printed permits and your original ID in your hand luggage. You will need them to board the flight. After that, think light, breathable clothes, plenty of swimwear, and serious sun protection. The sun here is no joke. Now for some pro tips that'll make your trip even smoother. A waterproof bag is a lifesaver for all the boat trips. Pack some of your own snacks for those odd-hour cravings. And critically, make sure you have an Airtel or a BSNL SIM card, as they're really the only networks that work reliably across the islands. And finally, a rapid-fire round of must-knows. Network, Airtel or BSNL only. Money, carry cash just in case. Safety, the islands are incredibly safe. Souvenirs, leave the corals and shells where they are. It's prohibited. And alcohol, only on Bangaram Island. Got it? Good. So there you have it, a complete guide to experiencing one of India's most precious jewels. But it leaves us with a thought. Lakshadweep's magic lies in its untouched, pristine nature. As more of us discover this paradise, the big question remains. How can we be thoughtful visitors, balancing our desire to see this beauty with the critical need to preserve its fragile soul for generations to come? Something to think about. Thanks for watching.